And on the bottom or in the middle of page 15, we can highlight that the word series stands for adding up the terms of a sequence. So an arithmetic series is adding up the terms in an arithmetic sequence. And we use big S for the sum. And so you can say S1 would just add the first one. That's not very crazy. But see, it's not like giving these arrows. But you have them in your notes, right? You have S1 is 5, and then 13, and then 24, and then 30. No, 38. Look at this, look at this. That was a nice recovery. So S2 means you add the first two. S3, add the first three. S4, add the first four. Okay. Hopefully nobody needs to ask what S5 means. Pretty good? Okay. And we already developed a formula for this. But there's actually two forms of the formula, and they do it on the next page. They do it on, I have it here. Yeah. They do it very complicated, like with just T1 plus D, T1 plus D again, T1 all the way up to Tn. We already sort of did this part in class, right? Now when you write them out, one on top of each other in the different orders, you can always have the first one plus the last one.
Can you show me the previous one?
This one right here?
No.
Or these slides?
Yes.
Okay, I'll show you those in a second. They're pretty cool. So if you add them up backwards, they're always going to, oh there it is, add up to the same thing. And then however many you're adding, that's how many, like in this case the 18, if you added 4 of them, you would get 4 18ths. And it becomes 4 times 18, but that adds it up twice, so we always need to divide by 2. And this shows up a lot of times on our notes, and I will get to those other slides in a second. In our notes, and both of these formulas are going to be on your formula sheet, which I'll get to you very soon. They have two formulas available. And the reason they have two formulas available is because we have already this formula for an arithmetic sequence. That the general term is always the first term plus D times 1 less than the amount that you're looking for. So what that allows me to do is in the basic sum formula that we figured out first, instead of writing that Tn, you can replace it with the Tn formula. Now, why would we want to do that? And you might want to put a note under here. This formula that's useful if you know what that last term is. And this one that one's useful if you don't know what the last term is, but you know what the common difference is, so that can be helpful. Now I'll show you those slides that I skipped there. Another way of seeing this whole thing is using an idea of area. So if I was adding 3 plus 7 plus 11 plus 15, I could show 3 as 3 squares, and then 7 as 7 squares, and so on, 11 and 15. And if I took this same shape and I duplicated it and put it on top of the other shape, it makes a rectangle perfectly. And what's the area of this rectangle? Well, the base is 4. The height is the 15 plus the 13, the 18. Just like in the other one, they all add up to 18. And then base times height, or length times width, would be the area of the whole rectangle. But I only want to find half of it, so you divide by 2. And it's just another way of looking at the same formula. Kind of a visual to see.
Sorry for the interruption. Any grade 9 student who has not had their picture taken, please head to the gymnasium to do so. Every grade 9 student who has not had their picture taken, please go to the gym. You have to have your picture taken. There's no purchase necessary, but you will have to have your picture taken, so please go. Thank you.
So we want to determine the sum of the first 6 terms of this sequence. We have the 2 formulas. In picking the 2 formulas, I always like the smaller one first, if possible. Do I know term 6? Yes. Term 1, term 2, term 3, term 4, term 5. Term 6 is 30, so I would use this formula because I know the last term that I want to add up. I want to add up the first 6. I know the 6th term, so this formula makes sense. The other formula will give you the exact same answer. It's not wrong to use. It just has more things to plug in, so it's a little bit longer, but not bad. So now, if I want to find the sum of the first 6 terms, then my n is going to be 6. And I replace all the n's in the equation with 6. So the n, this will get replaced with 6. Term 1, well, that's 25, plus term 6, that's negative 30, all divided by 2. So with using formulas, one of the skills we have to do is, can we plug things into the formula? And then can we use our order of operations to get things and get the answer. So brackets, I would do that first. The 25 and the negative 30. That's going to give me a negative 5. And 6 times negative 5 is negative 30 divided by 2. I get negative 15. So just circle number 4. Try it right now.